Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Yes, welcome to Around the Grounds, the weekly show at 3 o'clock where we will talk all things football. And there were some really, really interesting games of football coming up today in the Premier League. Big up to you. Make sure you smash the likes, enjoy it. Listen, let's have a bit of a laugh. Right, let's have a little chat about some of the games. We've got... Obviously, a good result, by the way, for Liverpool, coming back from behind to beat Crystal Palace. I'll quickly fly through it. Brighton versus Burnley. Lineup are Verbruggen, Milner, Dunk, Van Hecke, Baleba, Gross, Daoud, Andingra, Lallana, João Pedro, and Evan Ferguson. And then for Burnley, it's Trafford, Vitinho, O'Shea, Bayer, Taylor, Odegaard, Berg, Brownhill, Gudmundsson, Rodriguez, and Amdenoy. And on the bench is still Igor Hinzelwood, Gilmore, Moda, Baker Bowerty, Mitoma, Buonanotte, Omani on the bench. And then for Burnley, it's Muric, Roberts, Ekadil, Larson, Masengo, Redmond, Zarawi, Ramsey, and Trezor for Burnley. Man United play Bournemouth. Also, guys, make sure you get your score predictions down below. Man United have gone for Onana, Dalot, Maguire, who won Player of the Month, Shaw, Reguilon, Amrabat, McTominay, Anthony, Fernandez, Garnacho, Martial, Neto, and then for Bournemouth, it's Neto, Smith, Zaberni, Sensei, Kirkes, Christie, Cook, Semenyo, Cliver, Tavernier, and Solanke. And the bench for Man United is Badendier, Varane, Wan-Bissaka, Evans, Van der Beek, Maino, Rashford, Hoyland, and Pellistri. And for Bournemouth, it's Travers, Mepham, Rothwell, Kilkenny, Billing, Brooks, Otara, Sinistera, and Kiefer Moore. We've got a few more games. There's a couple more on with Sheffield United taking on Brentford. We've got, for Sheffield United, they've gone for Fodrington, Arjemovic, Robinson, Trusty, Bogle, Hamer, Vinny De Souza, Brooks, McAtee, Archer, and Oshula starts up front. And for Brentford, it's Flecken, Yanel, Me, Pinnock, Godos, Baptiste, Norgard, Onyeka, Lewis Potter, Wissa, and Mope. And the bench for Chris Wilder, Sheffield United, is Davis, Lowe, Thomas, Larucci, Sariki, Silliman, Peck, and Traore. And the bench for Thomas Franks, Brentford, is Strakosha, Good, Zanka, Roslev, Damsgaard, Perlet Harris, Yamilek, Olakibe, and Adeyekun. Our butchered names definitely there. Big up Mr. Box Office is here. How you doing, mate? Oh, where are you? Where are you, mate? Hang on. You're work there, but you're not there. If I change, hang on. I'm not sure what's happening, but it's not letting you in, mate. If I change it to that, will that work? Oh, he's gone. Not sure what's happened to Alex. He's gone. Oh, he's back. Is this going to work? Here he is. Oh, I've got the wrong background on. I do apologise. You all right, Alex?
Big up.
Big up to you, my friend. And just finally, I just wanted the last team news. Wolves versus Nottingham Forest. We've got, for Wolves, it's Jose Sar's back in with Kilman, Dawson, Gomez, Semedo, Lamina, Gomez, the other one in João Gomez, Bueno, Hwang Chan, Mateus Cunha, Paulo Sarabia. And then for Forest, it's Matt Turner, Willy Bolly, Niakate, Murillo, Neko Williams, Mangala, Konate, Toffolo, Alanga, Gibbs White, and Yates. And then on the bench for Wolves is Bentley, Doherty, Bueno, Traore, Doyle, Bellegarde, Chiriwa, Silva, and Kalajic. And then finally for Nottingham Forest is Steve Cooper's team of Vlachodimos, Felipe Aina, Sangare Dominguez, Danilo, Chris Wood, Hudson-Odoi, and Origi. That's the teams around the ground, guys. Hang on, if I change this. How you doing, Alex, mate? Hope you're well. Welcome to the stream.
Big up.
Let's see if I do it like that. Will that be better? We'll do it like that. Why not?
Big up.
Big up.
Yeah.
I've got the Man United game on. They're just about to walk out. There's a few minutes until kickoff. We have some Aka watch. Let's see. Big up Geordie. Perchy, without Sava being around for a bit, I know you might feel a bit strange for you doing it all yourself. I'm not. I've got Alex here. Alex is here. Super sub. But we're behind you and we've got to keep smashing the content. Thank you very much, Geordie. Listen, yeah, thank you. I don't really want to go too much into it. I just want to have a bit of a laugh today, right? Big up Daryl Denton. My 5-team Aka. 2-0 up, instant win. Norwich, Stoke, Charlton, Blackpool, Borussia Dortmund. I'll let you know. I've done a few random bets. We'll have a little look. Sad to see the Hotspur Hood leave YouTube. A real listener we miss. Oh yeah, Tommy's pulled away. He's let the channel go to Danny. I'm not sure if he's going to come back or not. But yeah, big up Tommy, by the way. Really nice bloke. He always let me on his channel. Really nice guy. Big up Tommy. Big up Rice Wildlife. Just see about Sava Summer. But yeah, listen, Sava's cool. He's just enjoyed his holiday. Let him enjoy it, man. Big up George Raffis. Hope you well. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm all good. Big up Ryan. Big up to you, my friend. I think you'll win today. I think I'll put you down to win 2-0, I think, on my predictions. Big up Perchy. Did you see the Liverpool game? Yeah, I saw the ending of it. Good goal, by the way, from Harvey. Did you see the goal, Alex?
And I haven't seen it, actually. No, I only just saw... I just
an absolute screamer to win it, but very harsh on Palace. I thought they had a good game. Hi, man. Big up, Suze. Okay, let's see whose predictions crumble then. Daniel, mine are going to be right. Suze is going to be wrong. Suze's predictions versus my predictions today. Should we put them up? Should we put them up, our predictions? Screw it. I'll name and shame Suze and her predictions today. And what? Let's have a look. Should we put them up? I want you, Mr. Alex. You, sir, are going to decide who's is right, who's is wrong. And everyone in the chat, I want Perchy or Susie in the chat. Okay, so we're going to start with. We'll start with Susie, of course. So she got it bang on, by the way. Palace 1, Liverpool 2, Brighton 2, Burnley 0, Man United 2, Bournemouth 0, Sheffield United 1, Brentford 1, Wolves 1, Forest 0, Villa 1, Arsenal 2, Everton 1, Chelsea 2, Fulham 1, West Ham 2, Luton 0, Man City 3, and Tottenham 2, Newcastle 1. So Susie's 1-0 ahead of me already because I went Palace 1, Liverpool 3. So I was right on the score, right on the score line. Then I've gone the same. Brighton 2-0 against Burnley, Man United 2-0 against Bournemouth, Sheffield United 1, Brentford 3, Wolves 0, Forest 0, Villa 2, Arsenal 1, Everton 2, Chelsea 2, Fulham 1, West Ham 2, Luton 1, Man City 3, and Tottenham 2, Newcastle 2. Now, guys, in the chat, I want who's right. Is it Susie or Perchy who've got the most right? You have Suze. You've got one right already. Bang on the money already.
I think Susie's got a few right in my eyes. I think, even though I don't. Well, yeah, top result, I'm not too sure about at the moment. I think it's going to be the same score. It's just whether it's going to be Newcastle or Tottenham. But then you're quite close as well. I don't know.
I'm worried tomorrow. Look, we'll have a little bit of a chinwag about tomorrow. I'm worried. Is Heung-min Son injured? I mean, I put a video about earlier. Is Heung-min Son injured? Because if he is, that I think...
you know my thoughts on Tottenham right now. You know my thoughts.
I do know your thoughts. I love your thoughts on Tottenham.
You know my thoughts on Tottenham. Yeah,
I love your thoughts on Tottenham.
And the manager. So you know exactly what I feel, and I've been quite direct about it, and from the very, very get go. and I have gave him credit because he's been honest since the start. He said he's stuck by what he said from the start. So I
Yeah.
can't criticize somebody that's been honest from the start. You know what I mean? So So he's told us. So that's it. But we can talk about it later.
Listen, I agree. I think GBC. I think we've got to hope though, right? They'll rotate for the Champions League. I think that is a crucial bit, right? They play Champions League game on the next week. That could GBC. Listen, let's hope. Listen, for me, I'm worried. I'm worried. What the heck has got? My phone's just gone mad. Okay. For me, my worry is at the moment is if Heung-min Son's injured, right? I think that is going to be a critical one. Touch wood, he's not, because I hope to God he's not, because I think without Son, we're going to be really, really worried, right? Really worrying, because then you've got to look at it and go, where's our goals coming from?
Well, because this is the thing. The problem is though, Perchy. The thing is, this is the problem I have with some Tottenham fans at the moment. They're saying, well, when we get Oliver back, it's all going to be okay. And I'm sitting there saying, well, that's not a squad.
That's not a squad. No, I get that.
And this is the problem I have. It's like, well,
isn't that the long term thing though, Alex? For me,
the point I'm making is, Perchy, this was the time for those players to step up, right? Like the Celso, Kulu, Gill. You know what I mean? All these players. The only player that's actually stepped up, let's be honest here, is Davis. And Kulu.
You could argue Lo Celso to a certain degree.
Well, I think people have gone over the top about him. Let's be honest here, because I was there.
I'll be honest. I was there. Come in and done a good job for us.
I was there at West Ham. Yeah, he was frustrating me. There's a reason why Maddison is streets ahead of him. Yeah, Paqueta for West Ham looks better than him all day long. Yeah, he kept the ball too long. Yeah, he's more number 6 than number 10. Yeah, all day long. I was watching him all game.
I think he's not a 6. He's an 8. Lo Celso.
I was watching him all game. All game. Yeah, he had too many touches of the ball. Yeah, and there's times that I was watching him and said, "Bro, just play it." Yeah, and he's going backwards. He was like Højbjerg. He was like Højbjerg. I've seen it on Mr. Box Office TV, by the way. You know what I mean? My channel, which I need to get to 1,000 subscribers. If you can subscribe, if you don't know, get to know. You know what I mean? But that's my point. That's my point. You know what I mean? But anyway, we can go back to it later. We'll get back to it later.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, listen. I think it's we have to win now. I think it's a must-win game. I think we're at a stage of a must-win game, regardless of what I think. Right? And Alex, do you know what? I'm going to go back to saying a few months ago that you said, and I'll hold my hands up. I was wrong on this point. I don't think it matters what the fans think. It matters what the guy at the top thinks. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Alex, listen, I'll give credit where credit's due. You called it at the start when I'm not. I think I've been quite balanced with this all. I've been positive when I think, do you know what, we've played well. But for me, I'll give credit where credit's due. You said it's all well and good the fans backing this guy, and that's great. But if we go on a long run and don't win, does Daniel Levy pull the trigger? And that for me is going to be the crucial bit. Because it doesn't matter if us fans like this guy. I think he's the right manager for us. I think Postecoglou is the right manager for us. But how long do you go without winning? Because it puts Daniel Levy in the board under a position, right? Because normally their job is sack and repeat, right?
That's the point.
I don't think they can do it with this manager. I don't think they can, because their fans are all behind him. 90% of the fan base is behind this guy solely. So what do you do there? And I think that's such an important thing, right? I think it's such an important thing.
And the thing is,
hang on, Alex, I'm going to have to hold you because there's been a goal in the Premier League. Goal! Oh, no, I forgot. Goal. Goal at Old Trafford, Manchester United 0. Bournemouth have gone 1-0 up, and what a goal, by the way. Oh, hello. This could be goal of the month. Dominic.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to get the bloody game up.
Such a beauty. He kind of crossed it and just slipped. Oh, it's a brilliant goal. He's smiling. He should be. That's an amazing goal. Man United 0, Bournemouth 1, and wow. They've been done over by an absolute brilliant flick. If anyone's seen that, go and watch it. It's a lovely, lovely goal. And it's annoying because Susie's got Solanke in the fantasy team. She's got him in this fantasy team, I believe. Also, Reading have gone 1-0 against Barnsley. But yeah, what a goal. If you get a chance to watch this, by the way, go and get it. Oh no, he doesn't. It's a dainty little touch. Get a chance to watch it. People look at it's an easy finish, but it's a very good goal. Anyway, so Alex, carry on. Apologies. I do apologise after that. It's a very good goal, though. Man United 0, Bournemouth 1.
And by the way, now you're going to see a lot of Man United fans tearing their hair out right now and saying, "Oh yeah, I told you about Ten Hag. Told you about Ten Hag." You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can see it right now. No. Like I said it already because we've done this. We've had this before, Perchy. I've seen this before. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm not getting suckered in. I'm never going to get suckered in by this club any time. You know what I mean? And like I said before, and I give praise to this guy, Sean from Spurs Talk Show, because he said something crucial. It wasn't about what I said, but he said something very crucial. Managers are not always there for a long term now. You know what I mean?
No, they're not.
They're not there long term anymore. That's why they don't put their transfer strategy just on the manager. They do it for the club. The manager has a philosophy that's similar to the club. So they match the manager to the philosophy, which is what we're trying to do right now. And let's be honest here, right? They're saying it's 4 years. They're planning for their next manager still. Yeah. Even the guy, the youth director, even said it himself to Stelios. Yeah,
he did.
And Brian as well. He said it himself. Yeah. So, like I said before, but the thing is though, the main thing is gonna help Postecoglou is when the fans say Ange out and the board say no. Yeah. And that's when Mr. Box Office will shut up. And will shut up a lot of fans. Yeah. We're waiting for that moment when the chickens come home to roost and say, and the board say, you know what, bruv, we need to get rid of him. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, that's what Tottenham Hotspur do. You know what I mean? And they need to prove us wrong, and that's the only way that it's going to work.
I agree. Listen, this transfer window is going to be so important because this is where I've been thinking about it. Right, I've been thinking about this. This is where the Spurs fan base are really going to be under the cosh here, right? Because they love the manager, and a lot of the fans like. When I say like the owner, in a sense that they're not necessarily as vocal about the owner as other fans are, right? In the sense of Daniel Levy, right? What happens if I'm not saying this happens, by the way. So before people I'm just spitballing for this conversation. What if Postecoglou doesn't get backed, and he gets a couple of loan players in January? What do the fans do? Because that's the key bit, right? Because do these owners do what they go to type and give the sort of 5th, 6th, 7th choice player to this guy instead of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd player that he wants in? Because this manager's going to need work. I said it. You know this, Alex. We were doing streams to me at the beginning. I said, I don't care where we finish this season. This is a 3-year project. This is 3 years in the making for me.
I'm not talking about top 4. I'm talking about, I said 8th.
Listen, I said I don't care. I said we could finish 4th or 14th for all I care. I don't care. As long as, always caveat, as long as we don't in a relegation battle, then I don't care.
That's the point, yeah.
And we're not gonna do that. We're too good for that at the moment. We're good enough.
Well, the teams down there were better than them because
that's what I mean. I mean, there's 10 worse teams at least than us. I mean, minimum. There's a lot more, but that's what I'm saying. So, I just think at the moment, this window is going to be really, really crucial on where the aspirations are when the aspirations come from the people at the top. And listen, they built the structure in the likes of Johan Lange, Scott Munn. They brought in another fella who is now the scout from Aston Villa.
Yeah,
and I've forgotten the fella's name. They brought in another one in because.
To help him, and he's under him, I think it is, and he's done this data-led approach. Data-led
listen, there's
approach.
the data-led stuff is going to take time, right? You can only do it takes time to do it. So I don't expect that to be so crucial right now. But what we need to be doing, and the key bit for that is it's all about long term. Still, people like the likes at the top have to still sign off the deal.
Well, if they're bringing in Scott Munn though, bro, if they're bringing in Scott Munn, right, they shouldn't. Daniel Levy doesn't need to be involved.
I agree.
He's made it quite.
I agree.
This is
Absolutely.
the point I make. This is the point I make, and this is the problem I have with this right now. We're talking about Daniel Levy, and it's, what is Scott Munn doing there? Because if Scott Munn's, what is the point of getting him from waiting for him for a long time as well when he was supposed to start earlier? You know what I mean? So this is even more embarrassing. You know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, sorry to cut you off, Perchy, but the thing is, though, the fact is, this is Daniel Levy's man, Scott Munn. You told him to do the football side, right? So you don't need to be involved. You don't need to be involved.
I'll ask this now with Alex. Big up Tony, by the way. He's good, guys. Do you really think
big up Tony? Big up Tony. Big up Tony.
Big up, mate. Listen, do you know what it is? I think Alex hits a really, really, really sensible point and a really good point here. We've now hired a team to do it. You give Johan Lange the budget and say, this is your budget for this window. This is your budget for next window. The rest of it shouldn't be dealt with by Daniel Levy now. He authorizes the budget. And listen, I'm spitballing. It isn't as simple as this, £100 million. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm not saying it more or less. I know it's not as simple as that. But my point being is, he authorizes the budget to Johan Lange and he says, you're in charge now. There's your money. You go and buy the players for this manager that he wants through whatever means necessary that he needs, and we move forward. Do you get what I mean? It shouldn't be people at the top going, no, we shouldn't be getting him. We should be getting him. No. You authorize budgets. We sign the players. And that's how I want it to be. I'm one of these. Like, listen, I know we all talk about Levy out, purple and gold and all this lot. I've got no issues with Daniel Levy being at the football club if he's as far away from the football inside as possible. Because we can't blame him. Hear me out. I think it needs to be very public, right? I think there needs to be a real public statement from the club to say that Daniel Levy is not involved in player signings. Because that for me, hear me out, that for me changes everything. It changes everything from people's perception, because if we sign a bad player, Daniel Levy can't be blamed for it because he's not involved in it anymore. And just to pause you, ever got in the Premier League? And if I can do it quickly. In the game that I said would be 0-0, it isn't. In 12 minutes into the game, Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Goal scored by Harry Toffolo, the left back, has scored. I'll just run you through the goal before we carry on, Alex. Ball picked up in the middle from... I like this Forest kit, by the way. It's a lovely kit. Like blue with like a pink trim. Ball's out on the left-hand side. Cut in, poor ball. Good pressure from Toffolo. Wins a free... I'm way behind, actually, I think. Let me see what time it says on my phone that the goal went in. The goal went in on the 14th minute, and I'm about a minute behind. So once the goal goes in, it's at the moment, from what I'm seeing, it's a Wolves free kick. And there's a lot of pressure under Steve Cooper at the moment. There's a lot of fans of them not that want him gone. Think he's taken the club as far as he can. So a good lead. Very pedestrian from Wolves in the build-up here. Just watching it. Good tackle. Intercepted there by Forest. They go long. And Toffolo's starting well here. As I said to you, I'm a little bit behind. So the goal is coming. It's all Wolves' possession from the build-up. And I'm just watching it. Good pressure from Wins. They win a free kick now. I think. No, they don't. They intercept it. Now the counter from Forest. It's outright from Kanate to the right-hand side from Nico Williams. Back post header. They've got to do better than that. They've got to do a lot better than that. But it is 1-0 Forest. Toffolo at the back post. Dinks it over his defender. Loops over Jose Sarr. Wolves 0, Forest 1. Apologies, Alex. I'm sorry to interrupt you on that bit. But that for me is important, right? That for me is really, really important because we all hear about Levy out and all this, and that's fine. Listen, people will have their opinions, and I agree with the majority of the sentiment. For me, though, if the club have to be very vocal about it, and it doesn't have to happen now, it might have to happen at the end of in the summer, right? And in the next summer, but in the sense of what happens, right? Because if Daniel Levy's not signing the players, we can't be blaming him now, right? Is it Johan Lange's fault? But I think, and look, touch wood, I'm not negative here because I'm being positive because I wanted to sort of go full
No,
circle.
you're being honest. You're being honest.
No,
I don't subscribe to this
negativity.
negativity. Positive. Yeah.
I think it's going to work well. I think it's going to work well, and we're going to get there. I genuinely think we're going to get there.
I mean, I mentioned this again on my channel, Mr. Box Office TV. I talk about the triangle.
Forest, my darling. Forest have gone 1-0 up.
Big up, Susie. I mean, like I said, like you know, I said about the triangle. Actually, I maybe not mentioned it on
Big
my
up
channel.
Leo, by the way.
It's something I'm going to mention on my channel anyway. The triangle between you've got Johan Lang, Scott Munn, and Postecoglou. It's an important triangle. Yeah. It's an important triangle at the end of the day because at the end of the day, this is the same triangle that I mentioned about with Paul Mitchell, John McDermott, and Pochettino. You know what I mean? You know that was a winning combination in Tottenham, and then when Paul Mitchell left,
the problem
look
with
what happened.
You're right, but the problem is it was the hierarchy in a sense.
Yeah.
Whereas now we have that gap between the hierarchies. There's a gap between the two hierarchies. So look, for me, as I stand by my point. This isn't something that I'm judging until 2025 really 25 26 seasons when we start judging it for me.
We have to see it breathe. This is the thing. This is the problem because this is why I've not really enjoyed. I mean, the only reason why I've reacted to games is because you know certain things. You know, you hear someone say something stupid, so you got content there, haven't you? But then you know when I go to games myself. You know, it's big up Susie, by the way. Big up Susie. It's when you go to games, you know, you're going to react to it. You know what I mean? So I'm just reacting to the game I saw. You know what I mean? So I kind of react to the game I saw. So like against Chelsea, I still think we're miles away from top of the table, miles away.
Yeah.
But I normally don't get pleased about. Us, playing the way that we played against Chelsea, but the way that we played against Chelsea, they were crumbling Chelsea. When I was watching Chelsea, they were crumbling. I wasn't impressed with most of their players. I wasn't. Yes, we had some time players won. Chelsea had some of the players won in the first half, but that's it again. That's the thing. Same against Aston Villa. I didn't think Aston Villa played very well. Didn't think Aston Villa played well at all. But they're taking their chances.
I thought what happened with us against Villa is we. Do you know what? I get your point. What I will say though, what I do agree with is what you're saying, but I think what I'm worried about, and the only worry I have big time at the moment with Tottenham is I think I'm worried that I see us have a good first half, very good first half. I thought against Villa, I thought it was the best piece of football I saw until Bentancur got injured. I've seen us play in years, right? In years, but. And I said this against when we played West Ham the other day. I thought we were brilliant first half. I thought we were fabulous. But every time you're only 1-0 up and you play fabulous football, it can amount to nothing because all it takes is the other team to get back in the game. And we let West Ham back into the game in that second half. And it felt like as soon as we conceded that equaliser, we weren't going to win the game. And that worries me. I could kind of had that feeling. It felt like you were at the game, right? You were at the game. But you must have felt it as well in the sense of
I thought it was coming.
It felt.
I thought it was perfect game for West Ham. Perfect, absolutely perfect.
But do you know what I want to see? And I'm going to say this now. What I want to see tomorrow. And by the way, we can do it tomorrow. I'm not suggesting that we can't. We can do this tomorrow. What I want to see is in that first half, if we play like we did against Villa, Chelsea for patches, West Ham. I want to see us go 2-3-0 up. Put them to the sword. Put Newcastle to the sword. Because that relieves the pressure second half, right? Completely releases all pressure in that second half. I don't want to see us at 1-0. Like, do you know what? I was in a group chat with some people, and they made a really good point. I don't want to see Spurs go 1-0 up. Because it feels like every time we go 1-0 up, we play brilliant, and then concede in the second half or late in the first half, and then don't win the game.
Well, ironically, we scored the goal with Romero, and straight away West Ham went down the other end and nearly scored. Well, they nearly scored. The kudos, I think it was.
I think. Do you know what, Tony? You've got a really good point, mate. Tony, you make a really, really, really good point. Newcastle they'll make it difficult for us. I think the one thing that people think when I say these things that I don't like Postecoglou, I find it hilarious. Like, I just try and be a little bit critical, but like in the grand scheme, I want the manager to be here. But people think, oh well, because you're being critiquing. I sit back and go,
Perchy, don't worry about it, because I've said I hated Postecoglou, so it's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
you're
come
like
on,
pantomime villain. It's brilliant.
So it's like, for me, it's like, I don't really care, to be honest with you. It's
I get that. No, but do you know?
Sorry,
do you know what
Perchy,
it is,
go on,
Alex?
carry on.
You know what it is though for me? I think Tony hits a real nail on the head on this point. Really does, because for me, the one thing I do see with us is teams sit back at us in the first half and go, look, let them work their backsides off in the first half. We limit them from scoring as one goal. Get them to, as long as they can score one goal, we're okay. Because second half, they haven't got the energy to sustain it in the second half, and that's when we will take advantage. And that for me worries me. By the way, I'm not against the way we play, because I think people think that all of a sudden it means we're against the way we play. I'm not against the way we play. I like actually the way we play. What worries me is that we're not savvy enough to go, here we go again, right? But listen, we don't have to sort of go over it. Listen, I hope tomorrow we win. I want to see a big result, because then we've got to go and play Forest next away after Newcastle. And what worries me is, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we can't keep losing or not winning games of football. Last time we won a game of football, do you remember the game we played, the last win we had? Do you remember it?
I think it's against oh gosh, I can't remember now. Fulham.
Palace.
Oh, was it Palace?
27th of October.
Oh yeah, because I wasn't at that game, wasn't I? So that was the reason why I can't remember that. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right there. To be honest, yeah.
Donna, welcome, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. Listen, me and Alex are just spitballing, having a little bit of a chat. Do you call him Mr. Box Office, his actual name, or is it Mr. Box Office?
It's Let Mr. Box Office.
It's just or just the Box Office. Yeah, Ryan, it's all good. She's cool. Just to give you some scores, guys, just to sort of catch you up. Huddersfield 1, Bristol City 0, Blackpool 1, Carlisle 0, Tranmere 0, Newport 1. I'll fly through a few. Peterborough have just scored against Oxford. Yeah, Darryl. Oh, Darryl, I agree. Listen, I think this is it. This is where it all comes. Listen, I think Ange's the right guy. I think Alex, you know he's the right guy, right?
Listen. I've said already. I need time to get to know him. I don't think I'll get to know him that well, because I think he'll be gone by the time I've got to know him. To be honest with you,
do you think?
I think. Yeah.
Sacked, or someone will swoop in for him. That's a big question.
Either way.
Because it could go. Because I had the. Do you know what? We'll go into it, right? It's actually I don't mind having this little chat. Actually, it's a good point. Because actually, it could go one of two ways. Because if Ange does brilliantly at Tottenham, let's just hypothetically, he sees the season out and we finish fourth. We finish fourth this season. I'm not saying we will. I'm not saying we won't. Just saying we finish fourth this season and we get into the Champions League. we get to a final of an FA Cup and we lose on the final. Okay. Second season, we win a trophy. We go deep into the Champions League and we consistently back in the top 4 again. Now, next question is, does a big team go for an Ange Postecoglou? And when I say a big team, the team of like a Liverpool, Man United.
100%.
And the
100%.
next question is, have Tottenham got the capabilities of holding on to Ange Postecoglou? That's a big question, right?
Well, he left Celtic when Celtic fans absolutely loved him. Yeah, and I'm sorry, just the truth hurts, but Celtic are better than Tottenham. They might be in the Scottish League, but they are better than Tottenham. Yeah, they've won more trophies than Tottenham, and they know how to.
Celtic are bigger in the sense of achievement, but you could argue that the sense of achievement is like the way you would flip it. If you put Celtic in the Premier League and Tottenham in the Scottish League, and so Celtic in the Premier League and flipped them, Spurs would win every single season, right? Spurs have got a better squad than Celtic and the better squad than Rangers.
Yeah, I think you've got a good point there. But I just think for me at the moment, I look at him and say, I don't think he's even stayed at a club for quite long anyway. A long time. I'm not having a go at him. It's just the way it is at the moment, isn't it? So for me, I think if Liverpool look at him and say, "Oh, we have him all day. We have him all day."
All day. Do you know what? Like, listen, I'm not one of these sitting there suggesting that that's the case. Listen, I think it's very early to sort of speculate. We don't really know. I think you make a good point. It's too early to even judge it yet. We're not even halfway into a season. For me, this is why I think everyone needs to like just keep it at this level, right? I think this is it. Some people are really down here. Some people are really up here. This is why I've always tried to be very balanced and sat on the fence, splinters up the backside kind of reaction, because it's way too early to judge, right? If we judge Pochettino on his first season at Tottenham, he'd have been sacked.
Oh yeah, well,
do you see my point? Do you get my point though?
Yeah.
We judge Pochettino. If we judged him on his first season, you'd have gone, "Oh, hang on a minute." But then he was still playing. He still had to play the likes of Fazio and all these. Was it? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that he was a bit before then. But we had awful players under him, Kevin Wimmer and all these lot. Andros Townsend he wanted to get rid of, Bentalebs, the Ryan Masons, and all this lot. So I think we have to see it, right? We see it for what it is.
Well, yeah, I hear. I know I'm going to get criticised. I got criticised for it. I'm getting criticised for it. I don't really care anyway because I know my football club at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, like I said, I think at the end of the day, right? I think it will put pressure on the board. At the end of the day, it will put pressure on the board. But this is what we want.
Yeah,
this is what we want because at the end of the day, I think this is when the board make choices and then fans will follow if they make the right. If they show some cojones and say, we're going to stick by a man like Arsenal done with Arteta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, I keep on saying that example.
No,
because when Arsenal get finishing eighth,
great example. Because Arsenal fans wanted him gone and he's put them into the conversation to win a title again this year.
They finished eighth, yeah, right, in the Premier League. Any other top team would have sacked their manager. Chelsea was sacking managers like no tomorrow. No tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No tomorrow. So, you know what I mean? And the Man United was sacking their managers as well, you know? So it's like, this is the point, until the board do what is needed. And this is the thing. I don't mind if Tottenham fans say Ange out. I don't mind. Because again, it puts pressure on the board. Say, okay, what are you going to do about it?
I'm not for the manager to go for me.
No, I don't mind the fans saying it because then it puts pressure on the board to say no. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way it's going to work, Perchy. It's the only way, unfortunately. Yeah? Because there's too much this board saying, just taking the spotlight off them and just sacking the manager. You know what I mean? And it's the only way it's going to work. And the only way it's going to get the fans together, because then it will shut fans up like me saying, okay, so but you
do you know what? You've got a good point. You've got a good point, Alex, right? In Port Vale have gone 1-0 up against Exeter's just come through, as Cheltenham have also gone 1-0 up against Bristol Rovers. You got a good point. It's a really good point here and it's a really good discussion point. January could be two different things, right? We could get a couple of average players on loan and a couple of players that are out of contract in the summer and you spend 15, 20 million quid. Or could go the opposite way and go and sign a Santiago Jimenez. You boot Richarlison off. You boot insert player off, right? And then you go, well, hang on a minute. Now we're doing something here. We're buying good players. As I said, it's not about value. It's about quality, right? It's about quality. I don't care if they're £5 million or £50 million. Doesn't matter for me. Really doesn't matter for me what happens there, because for me, it's all about us moving forward and building.
There's a goal.
There has been a goal. We have a goal in the Premier League. Now I've got to do this again quickly. Goal! Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. I will watch through the goal. Ball picked up by Cunha. It hasn't even buzzed my phone yet. So are you sure it's gone in? Has someone not?
Yes, it's definitely gone in. It's definitely gone in.
Yeah, it's definitely gone in.
My sources are saying that it's gone in.
Oh, it's a great. I tell you what, this is a brilliant goal from Mateus Cunha. That is such a beautiful. That is what I love. That's what I want to see the likes of my wingers doing, right? Ball comes in, gets on the byline, switches it across the goal, and it's a sweeping cutback by Mateus Cunha, and it is Wolves 1, Forest 1, and the pressure is back on Steve Cooper.
A lot of people are rating Gary O'Neill at the moment.
I think Gary O'Neill has done a fabulous job.
I think it's a bit too soon, though. I've got to say this. I think it's the same with Alonso. For Bayern Leverkusen.
Top of the league, though, right?
Yeah, but taken by storm. But I think you've got a good point about him, because he did well at Bournemouth. So I think he was very unlucky to get sacked. But yeah, you know what? He looks good, but let's see how he goes the next couple of seasons. I think that's the important thing as well. But yeah, at the moment, to be honest with you, he came into a job, but it was very difficult. Let's say this right now, because they parted ways with the last manager very, very quickly before the season, didn't they? So
yeah,
to be honest with you, he has started well. He has really got the club together. Because
Wolves are do you know what Wolves are? Wolves are one of those. If you can get a couple of good players better players in that team, they'll be a solid mid-table side. I think they just, do you know what they lack? They lack a clinical goal scorer. I like Cunha. I think he's a good player, but he's not one of those that I go, he's going to bag you 15 goals in the league, right? He's not that player. I just want to pick this up. GBC fan said, Perchy, you and Sava talk a lot about Jimenez, but have you not seen him play? Yeah, I've seen him play for Feyenoord a bit. I like him. Do you know who actually was the one that got me on the Jimenez train? I think he got Sava on it as well. It was actually Sean, Spurs Talk Show. He was doing it and looking at strikers across the across Europe and went, this guy is scoring goals at the moment at Feyenoord, and he looks a good football player. And then I did a little bit more digging, a little bit more research, and I went, wow, this is a player. This is a good player. My worry is, the only thing I worry at the moment, the only worry I have is he gets knocked on for the likes of the Real Madrids, the Juventuses, the Man Utds, or the Liverpools, or the Bayern Munich. I'm not saying Bayern Munich is probably a bad example, right? Bayern Munich's a bad example, but you get the position I'm trying to get at. If we're going to have to get him, we have to get him relatively quickly. Derby have gone 1-0 up against Leyton Orient. If you're going to get someone like Jimenez, you have to be quick with it. You can't mess around with it. If they ask for 80 million quid, you've got to get that sorted and paid, right?
I don't think Tottenham. I don't
think so either. I think it's probably me dreaming, right? But
I think the problem is when you put Real Madrid and Juventus in the equation, yeah, the fee goes way up.
Do you know who I also could think could get him? Someone like a Barcelona. They'll let likes of a Lewandowski go, and then they'll bring in this kid as the success.
You're blown out the water when those teams are on it because I mean, what nationality is he? Is he
Mexican.
Argentinian?
Mexican.
Well, I mean, I think those sort of players do like they dream of playing and get for the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids. You know what I mean? You know, in Spain. You know what I mean? The big clubs. You know what I mean? So. I think it's going to be very, very difficult to get a player like that right now when the spotlight's on them. What I would say with what you do with Jimenez, I think you can use him as a way to use a data-led approach to get a similar striker to him and look around Europe or look around America or South America or wherever you're looking at. You know what I mean? That's maybe what you need to do. Maybe, you know. And then look at the personality of that player and then see if it fits the system that we're playing at the moment. You see what I'm saying? And the philosophy of Tottenham Hotspur. That's the whole point. I think that's what you might have to do. I think we need a winger. We definitely need defender. We definitely need defenders in January. And I just hope the research has been done to look at those sort of players. I don't think we're going to be going for the players in the Premier League that we're looking at. Guehi, Braithwaite. I don't think we're looking at those players. If I'm really honest with you, I think they're going to look at players similar to them.
I like Braithwaite. I think if you get hear me out. If Spurs go and sign the likes of Braithwaite and a Mark Guehi or who was the other fellow we were linked with, that Todibo guy. Or even Lloyd Kelly, by the way. Like, I wasn't a massive advocate, but if you got in Braithwaite and a Lloyd Kelly, I'd go, do you know what? Okay, I don't actually mind that. I think that's not bad business. Because I think Everton at the moment financially may need money. We don't know. I'm worried that actually my worry more is will Everton do business with us after the whole Richarlison saga, that they wanted more money, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, listen, that's an interesting one for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to buy him. I think he needs to stay at Everton for a couple.
Thanks, Donna Cullen. I'll send it over to him. If mate, Phil P's always welcome on anytime. He doesn't even have to ask me. Let me get it over.
He's not. I think he needs another season. And I don't think Everton are going to let him go anywhere. I don't think that's sensible to do that when they're in a relegation battle at the moment. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I get your point.
I agree with you though, Perchy. The issue between the two clubs now is going to be pretty, toxic, heated because of that situation with Richarlison. So, we might not do any business. I think Tottenham Hotspur looking other places, if I'm really honest with you. I think they're using those players to look at players that are similar to them. I do think, and I'm going on what Kuva says. I think this Lloyd Kelly might be an option as well, to be honest with you. I don't think it's a bad shout, if I'm really honest with you. I haven't seen him play that much, to be honest with you, but from what I've heard, I think he's similar to what we need at the moment. Yeah, I just think at the moment we need to, somehow offload Dyer. He needs to go, and yeah, that's it really. But we do want to use I would like to see our youngsters, but if they're not ready, they're not ready, aren't they? They're not ready. Yeah. If that is the case, if they're not ready. If it's a risk to just put them in the 11, you need to get defenders in. You need to get defenders in. You know what I mean? Because you can't rely on Van der Ven coming back. You can't rely on him because he's got the worst injury that a speed merchant like him has. Yeah, hamstring injury. Yeah, he ain't going to be the same. He's not going to be the same. And if you need an example, look at Kulusevski right now. Yeah. Sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he wasn't very good the other day, was he? He didn't have a great game. And just so you know, Frankfurt 4, Bayern Munich 1 is Frankfurt are battering Bayern at the moment. That's 50 minutes into the game, and that's ruined literally every bet I've done, I think, because I stupidly think I put them in. But I have done I've done Wolves to win both teams to score. That's in there. Ipswich to win both teams to score, and Wigan to win both teams to score, which will be quite a tidy one. That is a bet that could be on. Wolves to score now will be good. I've got just both teams to score games, and there's a few that have scored in that. But
Wolves
my
look at the score.
Bayern Munich has absolutely killed it. And Union Berlin have killed it as well because they're 2-0 up. Colchester 0, Crawley 1. Ackle watch is not a good watch today.
What?
Not a good watch
How
today.
Bayern Munich
Ackle.
losing 4-1 to Frankfurt?
Yeah, 4-1 down.
That puts them. Let me look at the table let's look at the German table. Let's look at the German table. Oh, we're doing some around the ground in Europe as well, Perchy.
We always go around the grounds in Europe, Alex.
Europe.
We go around
here
the
we
grounds
go. It's
everywhere.
exciting. This is exciting.
Alex, I love Alex on around the grounds. He loves it.
I love it, bro. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, mate, listen. I think. Do you know what? The one thing I will say, mate. Now, I think people get really not upset's the wrong word. Definitely the wrong word. But I think what people do, I think people miss though is it's just opinions, right? I think everyone wants to be wrong. I'll be honest. I say I want to be wrong. I think there's been a goal somewhere, and it hasn't buzzed on my phone. Wickham 0, Shrewsbury 1. Big up, John, by the way. He said there are a lot of managers in Africa, Asia, and Australia who could do great things in the Premier League, but they don't get the chance because of their lack of connections. Yeah, listen. I think the problem is, and do you know what, John? I'll give you something on this one. You got a good point. I think this isn't just managers. This is players too. I think it's very much no one takes the risk on players outside of Europe, relatively. I mean, maybe the South Americans, you've got a lot of the Spanish and Portuguese clubs that will go over and they've got scouts over in South America and they'll bring them in because it's relatively easy for them to get work permits in for South American players to go into Europe, into Spain, Portugal and stuff. Relatively easy to get them and stuff. So they will be able to. I think the problem is when it comes to work permits and stuff like that, it's very hard for clubs in Europe to bring them over. There's the rules of how. Remember when Chelsea got done for when they were bringing in kids from all over the world, from Africa and Asia and middle of Europe and stuff, when they were 15 years of age, getting them signed up, and it kind of caused a problem in the sense that they got done because they were found to have been a bit dodgy in the way they were doing it, and they were hoodwinking a lot of these players in. So for me, it's relative when it comes to it though, because look, it'll be hard. Some of them will go in there, and look, you look at Brighton, right? Brighton's a good example, Alex. Brighton will pick up the likes of a Matoma, Enciso, Caicedo, Cucurella. All of these lads that have come from all parts of Europe, all parts of the world, and they work. So it can work. And Tottenham can do that as well. Tottenham need to be doing that. I think that's the way it gets sustainable. There's been a goal, Alex.
Here we go.
There has been a goal. 1 second. As we talk about Brighton, it is Brighton 0, Burnley 1. The struggling Burnley go 1-0 up. I'm just watching now. Ball's out on this left-hand side. Plays it in. Oh, he goes to goal. Oh, what a goal. Keeper's got to save it. But it's an absolute fabulous finish from Ogbert. It's Ogbert, I believe his name is. Yeah. It's a stunning goal because he cuts in. You think he's just going to whip a curveball into the back post. He cuts in. They don't expect it. And I don't know if it takes a deflection. It's Odebear who scores. I'm just watching. Does it take a deflection? Because the keeper's probably got to save it if it doesn't. I think the keeper's got to save it, I think. He's put it top bins, though. Oh, no, he gets fingertips. Verbruggen. I don't think he expects it. He gets fingertips, but it goes in. Brighton 0, Burnley 1. And Burnley need a win more than anyone at the moment. Because they are now creeping up the table. Because Burnley move up to 18th if it stays like this. Sheffield United bottom with Luton just below. Because Everton are got to play tomorrow. Everton play tomorrow, don't they? Chelsea tomorrow. So, yes, but Brighton 0, Burnley 1.
That game's still got a long way to go, though. A long way to go, because Brighton can all easily get back into that game very easily. Let's be honest here. So I don't think that's going to be a 1-0. I think we're going to have a few goals in that game now. To be honest with you, now it'll be interesting to see if they do be able to hang on, Burnley.
Alex, again, I'm sorry, I've got to hold you on that one. There's another
Yeah,
goal.
yeah.
I mentioned them just a second ago that they're crying out for a goal, but it is Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0. And I tell you what, the guys down the bottom are winning games at the moment, because that will close up the gap at the bottom massively. I'm just watching it now. The ball's gone long. Great play. I think it's Osulu who he's up top. Oh, he sends him packing. Goodbye, Yanout. Yanout's been nutmegged. And he just runs at him. Cuts inside. Comes short. Oh, dispossessed. Oh, it's just ricocheted. It's gone back to Sheffield United on the edge of the box. Whipped it to the right. Cuts in, whips it. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! It's an absolute beauty. Does he mean it? That's the question. I don't know. I don't know if he means it, but it's 1-0 to Sheffield United. He's got it on the right-hand side. It looks like he's whipping a ball in, and it just creeps to the top corner. Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0. It was James McAtee, the guy who's on loan from Manchester City. I'll watch it again. I'll confirm. I will tell you if he means it or if he doesn't mean it. I will be the verdict on this one. No, he means it. He means that. No, I'll give him his credit where credit's due. He looks up and sees the keeper off his line, and he just goes, "Do you know what? I'll have a go here." He looks up and sees the keeper. Very good goal. Honestly, that's a wonder goal. We've seen some absolute beauties today.
It's a shame because I'm trying to get the games up. I can't even get any games up right now. I'm trying.
Susie, you cannot change your predictions. You cannot. Donna Cullen said, "Mr. Alex, are you looking for Mrs. Box Office?"
Nope.
Oh, no, it's a big fat no from Mr. Box Office. Mrs. Susie, when are you planning to get married? Don't forget to invite me. And Susie's come back with
oh god,
Perchy. Amazing. Do you know what? I do love doing these. These are great chats.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a weird one. All the underdogs are winning. Does that mean we're winning tomorrow? Are we underdogs?
Well, we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah. The more Alex talks, the more goals that go in. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Nottingham Forest getting relegated? Well, that's a good question, actually. Alex, I'll let you go first on that one.
You know what? It'd be sad because they're very they're very juggernaut of a team. That were big in the 90s and stuff, and they got a bit of a box office thing about them. You know what I mean? So it'd be sad if they do go down. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? I think they've bought a lot of players though. They have bought a lot of players. So to be honest with you, I think they'll stay up though. To be honest with you, but if they do go down, it'll be sad. It will be sad. You know what I mean?
Because I like Forest.
I do like Forest. I don't know if Cooper's going to last. I've got to be honest. I don't know if he'll last. But I mean, if they do, I think it'd be silly to sack him if they don't have somebody adequate to replace him.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. They need a plan.
Donna Cunt said, "Mr. Perchy proposed to her today. I'm not proposing to her on stream. She will murder me. I will not be doing it on stream. Don't you worry." But Donna Cullen, I will invite you. I'll invite you wherever you are in the world. Big up to you. What I was going to say, there has been another goal, Alex, because Frankfurt are 5-1 up against Bayern Munich. Frankfurt 5, Bayern Munich 1. Harry Kane.
I'm gonna say this right now. Right,
here we go.
Thomas Tuchel's job is going to be in trouble.
Is Alex? Alex, go on, say it.
Thomas Tuchel's job's going to be in trouble. He's going to be in trouble because, look at what happened to Nagelsmann. You know what I mean? And let's be honest here, Tuchel only won the championship just last year. I'm not saying he's a bad manager, but let's be honest here. He will get sacked if he doesn't win that championship. And Kane will be laughed at.
Oh, don't.
Regardless of, like, listen, he's a fantastic striker, yeah? But he's gone to Bayern Munich to win things, yeah?
It isn't his fault, though, right? He's scoring tons of goals at the moment.
Yeah, but the thing is, though,
scored over 20 goals. And we're not even
it puts pressure on now to win the Champions League now. He has to win the Champions League now for him to justify himself as a Bayern Munich manager. Because you know what Bayern Munich are like. They sacked Nagelsmann, yeah, when people looked at it and thought, why? Why? You know what I mean?
But I don't think it's fair to blame Harry Kane, but I think he's doing his job, right? But there's got to be you've got to look at it in the context of it all though and go, whoa, how is this Bayern Munich team with a Harry Kane in? Like, all you've got to do is go and buy a world-class centre half and you're good, right? Please, Jack, do it now on stream. I can't think any more romantic than you proposing from a completely separate company. Donna, do you understand what sarcasm is? Trust me. Yeah. Don't you worry. I'll let you know. So it's half-time around the grounds at the moment. I think they're all done now. So I'll run, Alex, we'll do some half-time scores if you want to wait for just a second.
Yeah.
We will run some half-time scores. Obviously finished full-time earlier on. Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 2, Brighton 0, Burnley 1, Man United 0, Bournemouth 1, Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0, Wolves 1, Forest 1. And then in the Championship, it finished Blackburn Rovers 0, Leeds United 2, Sunderland 2, West Brom 1, Cardiff 0, Millwall 0, Huddersfield 1, Bristol City 0, Leicester City 1, Plymouth 0, Middlesbrough 0, Ipswich 1, Norwich 0, Preston 0, QPR 1, Hull 0, Rotherham 0, Swansea 1, Stoke 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0, Southampton 0. And then in League One, Blackpool 1, Carlisle 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Cheltenham 1, Burton 1, Stevenage 1, Charlton 0, Cambridge 0, Exeter 0, Port Vale 0, Leyton Orient 0, Derby 1, Northampton Town 2, Fleetwood Town 0, Peterborough 2, Oxford 0, Reading 1, Barnsley 1, Wigan 0, Lincoln 0, Wigan 0, Lincoln 0, Wickham 0, Shrewsbury 1. And then in League 2, Accrington 0, Doncaster Rovers 0, Wimbledon 1, Swindon 0, Barrow versus Gillingham was postponed, Bradford versus Salford postponed, Colchester 0, Crawley 1, Forest Green, Wrexham postponed, Grimsby 2, Crewe 0, Mansfield, MK Dons is postponed, Morecambe 0, Stockport 0, Notts County 1, Walsall 0, Sutton Harrogate postponed, Tranmere 0, Newport 1. God, how do I do that? I need a drink. You speak for a second.
I'm just looking at the results now at the moment. Man United are in trouble. You know what? I'm actually giving a little bit more unjust to Bournemouth, though, to be honest with you, and what they're doing at the moment. So
I like Bournemouth.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe.
Alex, I'll ask you a question. If you could pick 3 teams, and I don't mean just take rivalry out of it for a second. Take the whole thing. Rivalry out of it. If you could pick 3 teams based on them as a football club, as I said, I don't mean don't go and say things like Arsenal, Chelsea, and stuff like that. I mean it. You look at the Premier League now. If you could pick 3 of the teams to go down, who would it be and why?
Luton, Sheffield United, and I'm toying between Burnley and who else is there? I need to look at the Premier League actually. Let me see the Premier League. So, I think it's the 2 that I think I'm going to go down are Sheffield United and Luton.
Sheffield United and Luton.
Yeah, Luton. Yeah. Because I don't
And who else?
I'm trying to
pick one more. You got to pick one more. No fencing.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at the teams in the Premier League now because I don't know.
I know who I'm going with.
Burnley.
You've already said Burnley, didn't you? Oh no, you said
I didn't
Luton.
say Burnley. No,
So
Burnley.
you're saying the three that came up are going straight back down.
Yeah.
That's who you think you want to go down.
Well, it's not. I think they're going to go down. I want Burnley to stay up.
Yeah, but no, my point is which three do you want to go down?
Not
the ones you think will go down. And obviously, I don't. And when I say that, I don't mean just pick rivalries.
I won't. I'll say. This is going to sound very contradictory now. Nottingham Forest, Luton, and Sheffield United.
Why?
Actually, I'm going to change it. I'll just think Burnley. I'll say Burnley.
Why though? But why?
The reason why I said those three, because I don't think they're good enough. I think Luton got back up and they had a really good run, and they got through the playoff final, got through it and won the game. But you can see the quality is not there. You know what I mean? Even though they give teams a game, I think Sheffield United are a good championship team. But as you come into the Premier League, as you see in the Premier League, it's a different ball game. And I think Burnley have a great philosophy. Company I think, will become a good coach with time. But I think they're going to be a bit of a yo-yo club for me. Yo-yo club in terms of
I
going
understand
back up,
that. I
up,
totally
up,
get
down.
that.
I did think that the teams that went down last season, Leicester City, Leeds, and Southampton, made the Premier League weaker. In my eyes, I thought it made it really weaker, which is why I think what we're seeing right now. I think this is what we're seeing right now. I think the Premier League has been weak the last couple of seasons. I've got to be honest. I think it's been bang average. That's why I said that. I said on my channel that I think Tottenham Hotspur had a chance of winning the league, because it's a bang average league, and I think it's a bang average league, and we should be nowhere near it. And also you got Man City have won the treble last year, and you can see that it's very hard to match the achievements of this season. Again, I've said this on Mr. Box Office TV again. That's why they look bored. They can't win the quadruple now because they're not going to be in the Carabao Cup. They're at the Carabao Cup, and you can see right now it's difficult. It's very difficult. That's why managers like Sir Alex Ferguson are the elite of the elite managers, because they're able to churn out teams even after the treble they won to compete even more, compete every single season. You know what I mean?
No, Alex, I get it. I completely get it. I was just saying, no, Donna Cullen, that's not Sav in the chat. It's me. It's me in the chat. Sav is on holiday. Let him enjoy his holiday. Like, I know it's all a joke and it's all a bit of fun, but I'm just saying, like, for now, let him just enjoy his holiday. Anytime you see Football Heritage TV anywhere, it's me doing it, nobody else. It's just me. So just leave it. That's how it is. Let's just chill. It is what it is, right? Look, Alex, you bring a good point. I think there's not football's changed, right? When you talk about the likes of these guys, right? Alex Ferguson's, the Arsene Wenger's. These aren't managers anymore that we don't get those sort of managers anymore, right?
Yeah.
We don't get those managers anymore. Managers that stick around for a decade or two. Doesn't happen.
It's about a system now. It's about a system now.
It is.
Everyone talks about systems now. It's about systems. That's why you've seen what Alonso's doing at the moment in the German league. They talk about his system. That's all they talk about, his system. The Bournemouth manager, they talk about his system. Postecoglou, his system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that it's not about. You don't need world-class players to win you championships or win you cups. You don't need.
I agree.
It. You know
Alex,
what I mean?
I agree with you. I think you're right.
It's simple. Why is now everything now? Everyone talks about HG.
Oh, don't get. I hate XG.
Yeah, but this is the
Just
point I'm
score the
making. Why is
goal.
stats now? Why are stats now the most important thing? Why does everyone talk about stats when we all know
Because it's,
stats mean
do you know,
absolutely
do,
no
do you know, do
difference
you
in
know what
my
it is,
life?
Alex? Do you know what it is? Is when we talk about things like stats, we get so many stats now on these. I say all the time, on this, you get everything. Never used to get that before. When I was growing up,
Mm.
we won, we win, lose or draw. That's all I need. The only stat I need to know is the number next to our name bigger than the number next to their name. That was the only stat you needed to know
Mm.
because you
Mm.
watched it. You watched the game and go, we were the better team today and we won. Or we were the better team today and we lost.
You know
So,
whether players played well because you could see it. You wouldn't say that about Zidane, wouldn't you?
but
You wouldn't say about.
do you know what it is? Is stats. There's nothing wrong. Do you know what I'm going to say? There's nothing wrong with stats in football. Actually, do you know what? They're very, very important. But they're not important to like the likes of me, you, and the guys watching. They're irrelevant to
No,
us.
irrelevant.
What they're needed for data analysts to actually sit there in the clubs and go, look, your XG today was 2. I don't actually know. Basically, but you've only you should have. You're expected to have scored 2 goals today, but you didn't score anyway. Didn't score anything. So something's going wrong. Are you doing something wrong technically? So we can work on that. You're getting in the right positions, but you're not scoring.
Mm.
Vice versa. If your XG was 1, but you scored a hat trick today, you had a very, very good game today. Let's work on how you're scoring opportunities you shouldn't be scoring.
Yeah.
And for me, we get into it. We should not need to know what the game's XG is. Like, we don't need it. Like, I feel like stats have just taken over. Like, Savin, when he does his 10 in 10s, when he done all the 10 in 10s, he asked the question, what would you get rid of football? And I'm torn between stats and VAR.
Oh,
I'd ask you, Alex,
don't
what would
get me.
you get rid of?
Oh
If you could
gosh.
pick one of the two, which out of the two has been worse?
That's a difficult question because I can't stand VAR as well. To be honest, I can't
That's my
stand
point,
it.
though. Which of the two are worse?
Oh, I think because the reason why I'm saying this one, right? Because I can't stand stats, but the reason why I'm saying VAR is because I don't complain about VAR, but when I'm in the stadium, I complain about VAR. You know why I complain about VAR?
Yeah, I
Because
get
most of
that.
the time,
I
I'm
get that.
sitting there when VAR comes up. I'm sitting there. What is going on?
Yep.
And we're cold in the stadium and we don't know what's going on. People who are watching TV know more than us, and we're paying the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, not having a go at people that watch it TV because I know some people can't watch it and some people around the world. It's not having a go at them, but it's like, what? Why is it that we pay to go and see the game? Yeah, go make the effort to go there, but we don't know
Oh,
half the time what's going on,
Alex, obviously
and it winds me up
I used
now.
to go week in, week out, right? Before I moved to Spain, before I moved to Barcelona, I used to go week in, week out religiously. Susan will vouch for it. I mean, she had to deal with me drunken on the way back after a game most of the time. But the problem is you're right. When you're in a stadium and VAR goes on, you haven't got a clue. Listen, I haven't got a problem if it's instant. If all of a sudden instantly it comes up and then it goes because ball handball on player number insert for this team or puts up the name and you go, okay, cool, fine, that's cool. Whether you agree or disagree with the decision, at least you know what you're doing. You can sit there and it will go up and it will stay up on the screen for 5 minutes and you're like, what are we doing here? Like, and like that's where like I just sit back and go, like it's not. They need the communication between VAR and the fans has to improve. Even if they look, do you know what they should do? Put the instant on the screen. I know they don't do it for whatever reason,
Yeah, they have to.
or put the do one of two things, right? I think for me it should be both. And this is what I think they should do. Personally, my theory is 30 seconds. If they can't determine in 30 seconds what decision is right or wrong, then for me, on-field decision stands. Whether it's
Yeah, absolutely.
whether it's right or wrong, that's how for me it should be. The on-field decision goes after 30 seconds because in 30 seconds you should be able to determine if that's a foul or an offside like that. Should not need to take more than 30 seconds. Should not.
Perchy, you're spot on, Yeah, and the thing that wound me up, it was that Chelsea game, yeah? I was the other side of the pitch, yeah? Right, the
Yeah.
incident with Romero, yeah? Right? I thought they were complaining about the penalty. I had to find out from another fan that Romero got sent off. I didn't know
Yeah.
what was going on. That just summed it
Yeah.
up for me. That just
Yeah.
summed up. And the thing is, though,
But do you
when
know
it,
what? I watched it here, and they checked 3 things. They were checking everything, and do you know what? Do you know what I find really irritating with it? What I find really, really irritating with it, and you touched on a good point here. They check everything. It's do you know what it feels like? And I stand by my theory on this. It feels like for me that they are doing all they can to rule out a goal.
that's the point, yeah.
And it's like, do you know what? It's like they have to prove. It feels to me like they have to prove that okay, the VAR works, so we check absolutely every little detail, and then go, oh, we can rule it out because this guy's fingernail was too long and it was offside. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This
It's
is
just
football.
boring. And then you're sitting there when you're looking at VAR and you're saying, "Oh, just get the flipping goal, just get the goal, just get the goal, so we can just get on with it.
Listen,
Just get the
Alex,
goal."
I've been at
Or just
stages
the,
where I've gone, look, if we've conceded it, but do you know what we've done? We've all, consciously or unconsciously, we've all done this. We can say Spurs concede a goal. Let's just say this. Say Newcastle score in the first 5 minutes. We sit there and go, can we rule it out? Can VAR rule this out? Shouldn't be like that. You look at it and go, that's a good
no,
goal, or that's awful
get on with
defending.
it.
It's so frustrating.
Just get on with it. You want to get on with the game. You know what I mean? It's boring.
Ryan, no, I'm not going to do the watch long because I just like listen. Otherwise, I feel like I'm sat on stream all day. But what I am doing though is I know that Alan Time Added On is doing it, so I've set the redirect to go to Alan's stream straight after here. So make sure you go over there. Look, I'll pop in and out of the chat here and there right when Alan's doing it because otherwise I feel like I'm streaming all day and
Well,
it's not
he's
fair.
got
Like,
to be. He's got to be with his main
I
squeeze.
want to spend
He's
some
got to
time
be.
with Suze tonight.
He's got to be with his
Because,
main squeeze, Susie. So
otherwise, then I'm spending the whole weekend with you degenerates, and I then can't. And then I'm here doing it all again tomorrow because we've got Newcastle, then we've got the Spurs review. So I can't. Patson Daka has scored for Plymouth. For Leicester against Plymouth. Leicester 2-0 up. Yeah, big up Phil P. Thank you very much, my guy. Absolute legend, true guy.
big up Phil P. Big up
so
Phil P. Miss you at the matches,
yeah.
Phil. Miss you at the matches, Phil P. Big, by the way, miss matches.
Yeah, absolute legend, Phil P. And guys, in the chat, if you're new around here and you're in here, please subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Mr. Box Office, and please, what are we on likes wise? Guys, we're not even on 50 likes. Let's get those likes up there. Let's get to 60 likes now. That's about 13 away. Smash up the likes. Let Leicester are coming straight back up. They didn't lose a lot of players, what Leicester did.
No.
So on that basis, I think they've done a good, very,
Harry
very
Winks.
good job.
Harry Winks is playing well for them as well.
Harry Winkerbell, mate. Harry Winkerbell. And Frankfurt, I believe, are 5-0 up here. Are they still 5-1? They get their battering them here. Derby have won 2. Okay, Leighton Orient. So is that, mate?
By the way, Man United are still losing.
They are.
Oh, gosh.
So if we look at the Premier League table at the moment, I'm just looking at it. I might be able to get it up on the screen. Should we see?
Yeah.
I think if let's see if I can do this. This is my technical nous coming to play. If I click on Man United, will it let me? That will show you the game. But if I click on table, now there you go. So at the moment, as it stands, the Premier League table, Liverpool take the lead at the top of the table after they beat Crystal Palace. They're on 37 points. Arsenal play Aston Villa later on. The winners of that game go. Villa win. They go 1 point behind Arsenal, and they go 2 points behind Liverpool. Arsenal win. They go 2 points clear at the top of the table. Manchester City play Luton Town tomorrow. You expect them to get a win there. Spurs then play Newcastle. Now, Spurs are in a worry here, and hear me out. Spurs are in a bit of a worry because if Newcastle beat Spurs tomorrow, If Newcastle beat Spurs tomorrow, they go above us. Brighton at the moment aren't winning, but if they turn it around, and if Man United turn it around, we could be as low as 8th. We could be as below as 8th by the end of the weekend, which that is what it is. I kind of thought we'd finish around there anyway, but that's a bit of a worry when we've just feel like we've completely snowballed already and teetered off, right?
Well, to be
But
honest,
it could go. But ironically, right, it could go completely the other way. It could go completely the other way. Spurs could win tomorrow, right? Spurs could win tomorrow, and then they will be level on points with Man City. Well, Man City would already play. Leicester have gone 3-0 up now. Leicester 3-0 against Plymouth. And then go and make a 4-point gap on Newcastle and a 3-point gap on Man United if it stays like that as well. So it could go. I think tomorrow's game is actually, if Man United don't win and Brighton don't win, I think this is a massive, massive game for us now, because the teams that we're going to be realistically competing against aren't winning right now.
I ain't worried.
So I think it's massive.
I ain't worried. I've got to be honest. I'm not worried. I think the only thing that would worry me is I think we need to stop this whole thing of going in the lead and losing the league. I think that's
I
what
agree. We need
doing.
to stop that. We have to. Do you know what? We have to do one of two things, right? Tomorrow, we either go 1-0 up and then actually win the game, and we'll stop this nonsense of. Alex, we've played 15 league games already this season. How many times have we taken the lead out of 15? Tell me. I know. Guess how many? Does everyone in the chat as well? Let me know if you know the answer. We played 15 games this season. How many times have we taken the lead? Just chuck a number.
I'll say we've had 10. We've had, how many games have we had so far?
15. Charlton 1, Cambridge 0.
I say about 8.
Nope. Anyone in the chat? Do you know the answer?
That was just a guess.
Oh no! If you get it right, I'll accept that you've checked on the community page, because I did put it up there. Yeah, Phil P's got it bang on. 11 out of 15 games, more than 2/3 of games he scored the first goal. Like the only games that we didn't score first in was Arsenal. We didn't score the first goal against Arsenal. I actually can't remember now. I actually had him up. It was like Arsenal.
Did we score against
Chelsea? Did against Wolves.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Wolves.
Oh, yeah, Sheffield United. Burnley.
No, Sheffield United scored first.
Yes, I said. So the teams that we didn't score first in were Arsenal, Sheffield United, Burnley, and the last one was. I actually can't remember the last one. It's 4-0 Leicester. Can anyone remember the last one? Can anyone remember the last one? I'm going mad.
I can't remember now. I'm looking at the thing now. I can't remember now.
Wait, hang on. Who did we score? Oh, I'll get it up. That's going to annoy me. I need when I put something like that out there, I need to get the confirmation because I have to get it right. If anyone can anyone remember it now? That's really annoyed me. I got 3 of them. Brentford. That was it. Yeah. Brentford went 1-0 up on the opening day. Yeah. Brentford went 1-0 up. No. Did we score first against Brentford?
No, I
thought we did.
I thought Brentford did.
Oh, yeah, because Romero equalised, didn't he? Yeah, you're right. It was Brentford.
Yeah. I'll find out. Luton.
No, we beat them 1-0. They didn't score.
Well, Liverpool.
No, we scored first against Liverpool.
Oh no, teams that we went behind.
Romero did score first. It wasn't. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't Brentford. It was. I'll tell you. It was.
Are we looking at whether we went behind or did we go in front? That one. What ones are you looking at? Are you looking at the ones that when we went in front or when we went behind?
No, it was which teams did we score first in?
Which teams did we score first in?
Fulham in the cup. Then it must be. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it was Fulham in the cup. Yeah, so hang on. I'll do the list. The games this season. Scored first against Brentford. Scored first against Man United. Bournemouth, Burnley. No, Burnley scored first, so it wasn't them. Then Arsenal did. Liverpool, Luton, Fulham, Chelsea, Wolves, Aston Villa, Man City. That's 10, and West Ham 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the game. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
So actually, it was that was 11, right?
Yeah.
And the only games that we didn't score first in, Southampton go 1-0 up against Watford.
Yeah. Adam.
Fulham in the cup, Burnley, Sheffield United, and Arsenal. So it was actually 12 times in the league. Sorry, it was 12 in the league that we've gone 1-0 up first. Yeah, 12. 3 games that we haven't gone 1-0 up in the league. 4 if you include the cup games. Like, that's crazy.
It is crazy, isn't it?
Like, but listen, and it's all well and good when we don't concede, right? Because you got a good result, great. But we need to stop. Do you know when was the last time we got a clean sheet? That felt like ages. That was the 23rd of October against Fulham.
I think it's that we're just not clinical at the moment. But that just shows you that we haven't got a striker.
We're getting there. Listen, we're getting there. We are getting there.
And then we need more goals around midfielder, don't we? But
I agree. I think. Do you know what I think? Listen, I think all this accounts to us missing James Maddison like crazy, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? He was something, wasn't he? That was helping us a lot. You know what I mean? He was our Ericsson. Well, he's our Ericsson. You know what I mean? Our Gascoigne, whatever it is. You know, Modric.
Yeah, did anyone in the chat as well? Did you see the interview he done?
No, I didn't see it.
With Ben Foster.
No.
Watch it if you can. It's on YouTube. It's a very, very good watch.
Very
good watch. Yeah, guys, we're still waiting for some more goals in this. There's no goals really in this second half. Man United are still 1-0 down to Bournemouth at home. I mean,
when you're watching the game, are you watching the game right now? Are you watching that game right now?
I've just flicked over to the Man United game. Yes.
Was it? What are you seeing at the moment with them? Are they just?
What minute are you in?
Well, I can't get the game up. I'm trying to get the game up, but I couldn't get the game up. So.
It's the 57th minute for me. Man United whipped in a corner from Sergio Reguilon. Header down. Bournemouth doing well.
If Man United lose that game, if Man United lose that game at home again, you know what I mean?
Here's a question. Ten Hag got Manager of the Month for November.
Yeah.
And Harry Maguire got Player of the Month. Something tells me that this has gone a bit mad. How has Harry Maguire got Player of the Month?
That's why I say what I said already, bang average league. Because let's be honest here.
It's voted by the public, though. That's why I find it's a bit stupid. Like, the public vote for it. Like,
that's
obviously,
the problem.
As long as, like...
I mean, Garnacho, honestly, this is what I love about fan bases in the Premier League. He scores that goal against Everton. Everyone's waxing lyrical about it. Yes, it's a great goal. Great bicycle kick. But what has he done since?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is the problem I have with these players. It's like they live off certain things. This guy is living off certain things. Yeah.
I think Harry Maguire's awful. I think he's awful.
Yeah, I know, but it's like the whole thing. It's like I think they're just too happy, you know, when they start off really well to just stay in that level. They don't look to get better. You know what I mean? Or develop their game further. You know? Because I think they made it already, you know. And I really don't think this guy. He might look something good, but I think he doesn't help. He looks like somebody that's just going to be messing about most of his career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know. As for Sancho, for Man United, I think Sancho, unfortunately, is as was him being out the team is an example why Mavericks are now taking out the game now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you say this a lot. No, I get that.
I think it's unfortunate because I think when he was at Dortmund, I think they played around his game I don't think Man United do that. You know what I mean? I'm not excusing his attitude. I'm not excusing that. But you look at lights of like Ravel Morrison, for instance. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yes, he had a really bad attitude. Let's be honest here. But that guy was another maverick. You know what I mean? In Gascoigne's era, he would have been absolutely treasured. Absolutely treasured. Another one as well that I criticise against Man City when we play Man City, because I don't think he's the same at Man City. Grealish.
I like Grealish.
At the moment, I think
I think he's a good
Grealish,
player.
he's not the same. He's not the same. I don't know if we're going to see him later on, whether he'll take over that Rodri role, give him a bigger role at Man City. But at the moment, I'm not seeing the real Grealish at the moment.
I
You know
like
what I
him
mean?
though. I think he's a good player though. Talent, man.
Yeah, no, but I think he can do more. That's the thing, Perchy. It's not.
Yeah. No,
It's
I
not
see
about
you.
him
I see
being a
your point.
bad
I
player.
do see your point.
He's got more to his game, and he's shown it at Aston Villa. And I think he's got the I think Pep's disciplining him in his system, but at the same time, you're not getting a good version. You're not getting a better version of Grealish. You're not
Yeah.
getting a better version of Grealish. Grealish is one of those players that he takes over the game. He's like a Gareth Bell. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I
You know what I
understand.
mean? It's about him. Like a little bit more levels down, but a Messi, but levels down,
Oh,
way levels down,
Messi was
way
miles
levels
ahead of his
down. You
time.
know what I mean? That he loves playing. He needs the freedom. You know, I think that's what you have with Sancho. You need you need the freedom. And I think I've heard a lot of rumors about him coming to top. Being linked with Tottenham. Whether that's going to work, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
at the moment. You know what I mean? But that's just my two
Um.
takes on it.
Look, I wanna sort of divert there as Charlton go 2-0 up. Obviously, Spurs have got a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
To a certain extent, but in the squad sense of it, we've got a lot of squad injuries. Spurs have got a lot of players out on loan right now. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to read out some names to you, and all I want is a yes or no. If you would recall them, by the way, there are potentials that we can't recall all these players, but I'll read out a list of players, and all I want to hear is recall yes or no. So,
yeah,
and guys in the chat, you can get involved as well. At the moment, Man United's Sergio Reguilon is at Man United. Would you recall him, yes or no?
no,
Chat, just put Reggie, yes or no. I'll go through him. Jed Spence, would you recall him?
no,
Japhet Tanganga,
no,
Tongi Ndombele,
no,
or Joe Roden?
no.
So they're the lads we've got out on loan. We're saying no to them all.
Yeah, no.
So I think the only one I
Reguilon.
would, there's only one that I would, and that would be Reguilon. By
I
the way,
understand what you're saying. That yeah,
I don't
understand
think
what
he's
you're saying.
great, but the worry is you lose a doggy, and at the moment, the problem what we've got with Ben Davies now playing at centre half. Say a doggy gets suspended, you've then got to put Emerson Royale at left back. I think Reguilon probably at all of them. If you're gonna pick one of them, it'd be him. I think Joe Roden's crap. I think Jed Spencer's crap. Tanganga, I wouldn't be too against. Again, I don't think he's amazing, but he would be okay. If we need a centre half, we've got a centre half there. But here's the question, right? I have an ulterior motive why I did that. Was because I sit back and I think I could see Spurs recalling Tanganga and Reguilon. Because what I think Spurs are going to do, hear me out. Perchy theorizing it all. I think we're going to remove from the registration in January Eric Dyer, Hugo Lloris, and Ivan Perisic. I think we're going to remove all of them from registration because Perisic is now going to be out injured for the rest of the season. And even if he comes back, he'll be coming back for 2 or 3 games. I think the club will now. I think Perisic has played his last game for Tottenham. Hear me out. I think Hugo Lloris and Eric Dyer are going to play again. So I think that's 3 out, 3 in. For me, we need to go and get. We need to go and buy a proper football player now. I think we have to buy 3. I think we have an opportunity at Tottenham to get 3 players in. I think we would recall them if we can't get anyone in. Do you know what I mean? I think if we can't get anyone in, we will recall the likes of Reguilon and Tanganga and then get rid of the other 3. I think the other 3 get pulled off, bring 3 in. For me, Tottenham need to go and buy. Let's just put it into this, Alec. Follow through with my philosophy here that's what Spurs do. They pull Hugo Lloris, rip his contract up, or mutually get it, and he goes, goodbye. Eric Dyer, you do a similar thing, or you just don't register him. And then do the same with Perisic. Well, not get rid of him, but just he's out injured and he won't be back. Now, ignore the loan ones for a second. I give you the job now to go and pick 3 players to bring into Tottenham now and go, there you go. That's bolstered our squad. Who do you go? And chat, I'll ask you as well. You get 3 transfers and we follow my little game here that we don't do. What we do is we get rid of Hugo, Dyer and Perisic. And that means we can sign 3 players. In the chat, it can be whoever you want it to be. It's your decision. I will always caveat, keep it realistic. Don't put like the likes of Neymar and do you know what I mean? Don't make it stupid. Let's be realistic. Go on, Alex, and I'll leave it with you for a second whilst I sort something quick out.
Well, I am looking at a central defender, a winger, and if we can do it, a centre midfielder.
Yep.
No. Striker. A striker, I say. Sorry, striker. That can play either left, right, or in the centre. So I would say I can't name players at the moment because I haven't done my research on what players are out there at the moment that because so I'm gonna just say the players that I'd like them to look like.
Daniela, the 3 that we're getting rid of are non-homegrown, so it can be anyone. They don't have to be homegrown or anyone. Alex, and whilst we stop that, I think there's a goal.
Yeah.
I think there's a goal at Old Trafford. And it has gone in. I've just seen it come up on my screen. We've got a goal. And it is all going wrong for Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United because it is Man United 0, Bournemouth 2. I'm watching it. Solanke goes out to the left, whips it to the back post, header by Philip Billing. I tell you what a ball in on the left-hand side. I didn't see who crossed the ball, but he whips it to the back post, and it's Philip Billing. It was Marcus Tavernier with the delivery. Straight across.
Wow.
Awful defending, by the way. Awful defending by Sergio Reguilon. And he just allows... Do you know what? It's everything I saw. Harry Maguire also failing, but it was awful defending. And Man United are 2-0 down at Bournemouth with about 20 minutes to play. I'll just watch the replay just 1 second. Ball was just lackadaisical by Luke Shaw. The ball was then pinged out to Solanke. As I said, Reguilon way out of position. Luke Shaw is no man's land. Terrible defending Man United. And look, we could talk about us when we defend, but that is awful. Awful. But what a cross from Marcus.
When you're watching Eric Ten Hag's team at the moment, are they playing to the philosophy that he was doing at Ajax?
Huh?
Are you seeing the football that you saw at Ajax?
No, nowhere near.
That's the point I'm making at the moment about Postecoglou. You get what I'm saying? Because Man United fans are complaining about the style of football right now, yeah? They thought they were getting the Ten Hag from Ajax, yeah? The way that they played football at Ajax, yeah? They're not seeing anywhere near the football that they're seeing at Ajax. at the moment.
No,
And look at the
nowhere
money that
near.
they spent.
But I think. Do you know what? And do you know what? He made a great point. Stell made a great point on the on Spurs Unleashed last week. He made a really, really good point. He said, "Look at what's happening with Ten Hag. He's abandoned his philosophy to try and get results, and it hasn't worked because no one knows the identity of Man United anymore." And he said, "That is something that you've got to keep instilling." Suze, did you want me to try and put my cake up on screen? Should I really put? Did you ask me to put the cake up? Who said, what's going on?
Cake.
Well, I made a cake. I did. I made my cake this morning. Should I get it? I'll get it up on screen. It looks a mess, but I'll get it up. Alex, you're in charge for a second.
Football Terrace has turned into the bake-off terrace already. Perchy's just left to get his creation right now. And big up to everybody on Football Terrace, the Football Heritage TV. I mean, Football Heritage TV. Football Heritage TV.
Look, that's my cake.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's nice.
It tastes good though. It's good.
It's nice. Oh, that looks nice. But I'm sweet enough. I'm sweet enough. Yeah, that's what you should call it. That's what you should call it, Susie. Big up Susie, by the way. Baking Heritage. Baking Heritage.
Baking Heritage.
Baking Heritage. That's what we should call it right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, yeah.
Baking Heritage. I love it. I love it.
But unfortunately, when you're looking at the Man United game, Bournemouth are baking Manchester United right now, and it's going to be baking hot, heated after the full-time whistle with the fans right now, and that's it. Let's say it right now.
I should add a bit as well. It's just a cake. I don't know why everyone goes, what is it? It's just a normal sponge cake. It is lovely, by the way. The name of the company was called Royale, and it did come out like Emerson Royale playing football. Not very good, but it does taste lovely. So
yeah,
don't know what that means in the context of it all.
So that's the thing. But big up to everybody in the chat, like I said. And yeah, so when you're looking at the results right now and looking at the table, it's actually looking quite positive for Tottenham right now. I mean,
Listen,
like I said, I'm not a stickler for looking at the league at the moment because you know my expectations anyway, so I'm not really that fussed. And tomorrow's game, even if we do lose, you know, again, just highlights where we are at the moment. We're not anywhere near the relegation zone, so for me at the moment, it's no panic.
Alex, I'm gonna have to hold you because there's another goal at Old Trafford, my friend. Manchester United 0, Bournemouth 3.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just watching it now. There's going to be a corner whipped in. I haven't seen it yet. It's 3-0 Bournemouth. Whipped in. And then it's gone out for another corner. I am just watching. I'm a little bit behind. I do apologise. I'm about a minute or so behind. So just bear with me. I am watching it. But Man United are 3-0 down. Ball whipped in by Marcus Tavernier. And there has been another goal at the Amex. I will be going there just 1 second because Man United are 3-0 down. Ball whipped in. Oh, it's absolute horrid defending. Absolute horrid defending. It is Sensei, I believe it is. It is Marco Sensei, I think, scored the header. Sorry, that is disgraceful from Man United.
I need to see the highlights of this.
He was unmarked at the back post, Marco Sensei, and it's a free header, and it's a great header though. And as I said, Brighton have equalised against Burnley, and it is Simon Andingra who scored. Simon Andingra. It's all happening now. I'm just watching that right this second.
By the way, everyone's hero, everyone's favourite player right now has just scored for Real Madrid. And you know who I'm talking about. He's a guy that came from Birmingham and now made his name in Dortmund in the German league. His name's Bellingham. Jude Bellingham scored the goal for Real Madrid against Real Betis. It's 1-0 Real Madrid. Back to you, Perchy.
Cheers. My Spanish correspondent over there in North London. So it's Joselu is a goat, by the way. Agreed. Joselu.
But Man United are absolutely in a mess. And you're gonna be waiting for the streams right now, where everyone's like saying now, "What's going on?" And you're waiting for one particular person as well, definitely to say it as well. You know what I
I'm
mean?
just
So it
having a
don't
little
look
check
good.
on
Do you
Aquawatch.
think? Do you think Man United? I think have got one eye on the game at the Champions League, because this looks
I
like
think
to
they
me.
can't afford it. I think, no disrespect, like Bournemouth. Bournemouth are an okay footballing side. They're not a great footballing side. I thought we battered them when we did. So I think they're all over the place, Man United. And we like a bit of Aquawatch. My little cheeky one that can regain my money back could come in. Need a Middlesbrough, Brentford, and Man United, Cole. Because now Brighton have gone 1-1. Yeah, so I just need both teams to score on those.
What are you on now, Perchy, with that Aquawat, by the way?
Oh, listen, most of the bets are done. They're KO'd because I went all out and went a bit bold with some of them.
Man
And
United, you wanted Man United. You
I
thought Man
went
United
Bayern
were going to
Munich
win.
and Borussia Mönchengladbach both lost. Aren't
That
Bayern
was a
getting
disaster,
slapped?
wasn't it?
Geordie, it finished 5-1. It finished 5-1. Get it full time. It's full time.
The worst thing is, Bayern
2-1.
Leverkusen drew the last game. I think they drew the last game. I think
Yeah,
their game, isn't it? So they had a chance to close the gap, and they fell completely, massively, badly.
yeah. No, I get that. Listen, it's all as I said, it's all happening at the moment. Yeah, the only little one
Who's
I've got
below
one that we.
average? Who's below average? Dele Alli, beyond 72. I love that. I love that. Who's below average? Dele Alli.
Who's the below average Dele Alli? Who is the below average Dele Alli?
Who's the below average Dele Alli? I want to hear that. Who is it?
Go
Who
on,
is it? If
who
he's
is
in the
it?
chat,
Cool, we need.
beyond 72. Bloody hell. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Jordan. Yeah, flashbacks of Spurs days. Yeah, that exactly. Losing,
Exactly.
getting battered away from home.
Oh, Bruno.
Oh, Bruno. Oh, I see. The below. I like that one.
Yeah,
The
you know
below
what?
average Dele
You
Alli.
know what? I totally agree with you, and I've heard from Man United fans saying who else is going to be captain. Well, you need to sort something out about that, because, like I said, he's not.
I don't know how
I,
the likes of Casemiro aren't captain. I
you know
don't
what? You
know.
got a good point.
I
You
don't know
got a good
how he
point.
doesn't play like much. I know he may not be fully fit all the time, but look, hear me out. This is a Man United lineup of Onana, Dalot, Maguire, Shaw, Reguilon, McTominay, Amrabat, Anthony, Fernandez, Garnacho, Martial. Really? Man United. Man United. Like
Well,
they've won,
Martial's playing.
huh?
Martial's playing.
Yeah, yeah, I know somehow. I don't know how they've
No
already
wonder they
hooked him though.
lost.
They've hooked him
No wonder they
already.
lost.
Yeah.
He is the most like he
Scott
sums up.
McTominay's their top goal scorer at the moment.
Well, what does
Let
that
that
say to
sink
you?
in.
I mean, Martial must be so embarrassed. Honestly, this guy had a glass ceiling of being like the next Henry.
Everyone
He's
said that.
turned
Yeah, he
into
was at
next
Monaco,
Andy
weren't he?
Booth.
Yeah.
He's turned into next Darren Huckabee. You know what I
I
mean?
think he's awful. I think he's awful,
He's
Martial. Do
absolutely
you know
awful,
what
and
Martial? Do you
his
know what
attitude
Martial is, mate?
stinks.
Do you know what Martial? He's the antithesis of those players that stay at a football club for too long.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If he had ambition to be a better football player, he should have left Man United when it weren't going and go and revamp himself. Go and drop down. You know when you see, I can't think of an example right this second, but you think about players that have started up here, they've gone here because they've got big potential, but then left and gone back down a few levels of quality and built themselves back up. He's one of those. He's at Man United. He's comfortable at Man United, Martial. He's comfortable at Man United, getting paid a fat wad. Instead, he's not got any stronger. Like, I just find it. He's one of those players that needs to find a new level. Like, let's be fair. Man United played like to Johnny Evans at centre half. Let that sink in. Like,
Yeah, but at least Johnny Evans had a good career. I mean, we can't have a go at Johnny Evans because we know what sort of
yeah,
quality
but
he is.
like it's
But
Man United though.
I
Like,
know,
I know what you're saying, but it's Man United.
no, yeah, but that's the fault of the hierarchy not buying the right players. Well, Ten Hag, not getting the right players in and not having a system in place to find the right players. You know what I mean? And having to go for those players like Johnny Evans. I mean, the thing is though, unfortunately, when you look at Man United's spending, it's been awful. You know what I mean? They're spending
some awful players. I agree.
an awful lot of money on players that, let's be honest here, are not the best. Do you know what I mean? And then you see us, and I think this is the thing. This is the difference between us and Man United at the moment. And I'm not saying that we're brilliant. We're not brilliant. No, we're not. Yeah. But we're getting like a Vicario, right? Who, for me, at the moment, looks a very good goalkeeper at the moment. Yes, he made a mistake against in the last game, but let's be honest here, he has got great potential and he has shown it. You know what I mean? You got Van der Ven.
Yeah.
Right, that no one was interested in. Yes, Liverpool made some little bit of noises and that's it, but look what's happened. Look at Maddison. You know what I mean? And we got him for cheap. Let's be honest here. It's the spending that we've made, the buys that we've bought in, and it's not even been that much money. We could have got a tap sober as well. And look at the midfielders that they got. They got Mason Mount for a lot of money. Yeah. This is exactly what Ten Hag wanted, by the way.
I actually agree with you wholeheartedly, mate. I think
the goalkeeper that they spent a lot of money on as well, that Ten Hag wanted as well.
Agreed.
So I think he's not. I think the problem is with Man United, they're doing too much what the manager wants, and not doing what the club wants.
Here's the question: Is the manager the one that you back? Right? We talk about backing managers. We hear that terminology all the time. Just back the manager. Is Ten Hag the manager you back? Because you know what he feels like. And look, we haven't got any Man United fans in, and if there is, I'd love them to get involved with this, right? And we talk about backing managers. Is he the manager you back? Because I don't think he is. I don't think Ten Hag is the manager you back right now.
I think Man
United.
I think.
Do you get my theory on that?
Yeah, I think the manager. I think the manager's in trouble because when the ownership comes in, the new ownership comes in and take their little stake and run the football side. I think they'll look at it and think they may think change it.
No, Alex, I get what you're saying. I do actually get what you're saying, but I'm talking about it, theorizing it very. I'm kind of going a bit simple on it for a reason.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
When we talk about just back the manager. Spurs fans say all the time about just the owner, just back Conte. I feel like this is like a Conte era for Man United. You don't want to be backing Ten Hag. Like, do you trust Ten Hag to go and say, yeah, I'm going to buy the right players now? I don't.
I would say this.
I
wouldn't trust him, no. I wouldn't trust him, no. I would do this. I would say you base your philosophy of what you want to play, right?
Yeah.
Do what we're doing at the moment, what Brighton are doing, yeah? Right now, yeah? And if Ten Hag doesn't fit your philosophy, get rid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then you get a manager in or
coaching.
Here's
the next question, Alex. I'll keep sort of throwing the questions at you.
Yeah.
What is Ten Hag's philosophy?
I
couldn't tell you what it is. He's been at the club for nearly 18 months. What is his philosophy? What is his?
I think the way it looks like he's doing counter-attacking football.
This is how he plays. I couldn't tell you what it is.
I think it's counter-attacking football, to be honest with you. But other than that, I don't know. But the problem is
Bruno Fernandes is suspended. He's been booked. Wow. He misses the next game now.
What? See? I told you about this guy. I said about this guy. Like Rashford as well. Rashford as well. When Rashford comes back to form, yeah, I'll say this, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care anymore.
I actually agree with you on this one. I don't know
because it's like I'm saying, okay, great, it's good, okay. That's like a 5-minute job at the red light district. You know what I mean? Him playing. You know what I mean? It's great. It's great. Yeah. But you need to do it every single season. Sorry. You know what I mean?
But have you noticed? I feel like there's a pattern at Man United. I think there is some sort of PR stunt that happens at Man United that the likes of Harry Maguire, the likes of Rashford get away with it all the time at Man United. How are people backing the likes of these guys? I don't think they're. I just find it very, very confusing. Am I the only one that thinks that?
No, I listen. I've looked at it from a lot afar, and I sit there and say, this guy he's a hype. He's hype. The only thing that has made him look good is what he's done off the
Yeah.
pitch. And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
regardless, and
That's
I
what I
can't
mean,
get
though.
into it too
Like,
much. I can't
listen,
get into too much what
he
he
does
does
some
off the
amazing work.
pitch. I can't get into, but when you look at him as a footballer, he's bang average. He's bang average. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I agree.
I'm sorry. It's a fact, and I'm not just saying it because he's a Man United take because you know me, Mr. Perchy. Yeah, I've criticised my club. I've called Kulu
Yeah.
a reject. Yeah,
Of course you
I've
do.
said a lot of players are bang average in my club, so I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care about how we go in my club. I
Yeah,
have
no.
my four of my fans, and
I know
that's
you're
it.
not. I
But
know you
I'm just
don't
looking
in
at it
that
from what I
sense.
see at the moment, and I'm comparing them to the players that I saw in the 90s. Because if we're going to start saying these players are world class, right? What is world class to you? What is world class? World class has been consistent
What?
and getting better every single
The
season.
theorise of world class is someone that does it every season. Yeah, someone does it every season.
Yeah.
The likes of Mo Salah are world class because they do it every single year. The likes of Harry Kane are world class because no matter how good or bad the team they're around, does it every year.
Does it every year.
And that's the thing. Rashford is the archetypal like what's the word? Purple patch player. Because he's the sort of player that will go have 5 or 6 games and you go, wow, this kid's amazing. And then you hear nothing for 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah. So this is the point I'm making.
And that for me, you can't have players like that in teams anymore. Like, here's a question, Alex.
Yeah.
I'll ask you this. Would you rather have a player that does a 6 or 7 out of 10 every game, 6 or 7 out of 10 every game, or a player that has patches of 3 or 4, 8 or 9 out of 10s, and then the rest it's 3 and 4 out of 10s? What? Because some people love that sort of purple patch player, and some people like the consistent like player that goes, do you know what? They're consistently a 7 out of 10 every game. They're not amazing, but they're not awful. But Ben,
yeah.
I get that, but no one is a 10 out of 10 every week. That's just not. That's not.
That's a very good question, though, Perchy. That's a very good question.
That's my point. My point is would you have a purple patch player that goes 3 or 4 games where you go, wow, this guy is amazing, or do you have a player that goes 7 out of 10s most of the game?
This is a very difficult question because you know what? That purple patch player could win you the league. You know what I mean? In 2023 right now. You know what I mean?
Huh?
That purple patch player could be effective, right? If they get back into form and win you the league or win your cup.
Yeah, no,
You know
yeah.
I mean?
Purple patch players are one of those players that could be the ones that win you the league, but
Yeah.
do not like. Do you know who's a great example for it? Kai
Who?
Havertz.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Kai Havertz is a great example of it. Does nothing for Chelsea all season, but scores the winning goal and wins them the Champions League. So it's like, and I think he's a great example of that. I think he's a purple patch player. He's one of those players that you go, he's good player, but he doesn't do much, and then boom, scores a winning goal in the Champions League, and he gets remembered forever that he's won the Champions League for Chelsea.
That's the point. That's the point. I say, to answer your question, I say, because I haven't seen Tottenham win a trophy, I would say purple patch player. And I've been a bit of a bit saying it, but
do you know what it is?
It runs close. I'm only picking it because I've got to make a choice, and the only reason why I say it is because I haven't seen Tottenham win a trophy. Well,
But here's the theory: the purple patch may not come in a final. So I think you need a bit of, kind of a sprinkling of both, right? You need those 7 out of 10s in your team, but you want to get that attacking purple. In a sense, what you don't want is purple patch players are great. Purple patch players are great, but in essence, you don't really want one. You want one that goes and scores. Like would you? I'll kind of adjust the question. Would you rather have a player that? Would you rather have a player in your team right now that scores 5 goals in 3 games, and then doesn't score for 7 or 8, and then does the same again? Or would you rather have someone that scores like every other game? Does that kind of make sense?
I say, well, but what you just said then, right? If you can't get into a final, right? I would say I'll take the 7s, the guy that's consistent. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
That's what I do. But by what you just said now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I'd rather just give you an answer rather than giving you just like
Alex,
you know what I mean?
I'm going to hold you because every time you speak, there's a goal, and there has been another goal. Manchester United 0, Bournemouth 4.
No, you're joking me.
Man
joking
United
me.
Conceded another goal.
You're joking me. Oh my gosh.
It is 4-0 Old Trafford,
Oh,
and Man United
he's in
fans
trouble
are
now. I'm sorry. He's done. He's finished. He's finished. I'm sorry. You think this is at Old Trafford, bruv?
It's Old Trafford.
This is at Old Trafford. He's done.
The theatre of nightmares for Manchester United.
He's done. He's finished. I'm sorry. He's done. He's done.
I'm watching now. Hang on,
Alex. You can't live this down. This is Bournemouth, bruv.
Oh dear,
Bournemouth.
They've got
Liverpool in a couple of weeks' time, bruv.
Can I just say that is horrible defending it again? What are you doing? Oh,
right, he's done. He's done, Perchy. I'm sorry. He's done. You can't do that at Man United. Yeah, this is not Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, you cannot do that at Man United. That he can't live this down, man. Oh my gosh, he's in trouble. He's in massive trouble.
Dango Utara has scored.
Yeah, bro, he's in trouble. He's in massive trouble. Massive trouble. The 3-0 was bad, but 4-0.
Fair play to the Bournemouth fans of the away end. They're going ballistic. Do you blame them?
No, they don't blame him. No, but bro, he's in trouble. He's in massive trouble.
Johnny Evans. So it was Maguire got intercepted. Johnny Evans tried to recover it. Johnny Evans tried to recover it and played it into Utara. Sorry. Is someone saying there's VAR in this? No. Yeah, Suze, I'll do the scores up now, so apologies. Yeah, if they VAR this, it is an absolute shambles. There is nothing wrong with this goal. But watch and try and rule it out.
Gosh. VAR is like me watching.
I hate it. There's nothing wrong with
watching
this goal.
paint dry,
Absolutely
honestly.
Nothing wrong with this goal.
Bloody hell.
It's somehow been disallowed. How?
Has it been disallowed?
How? This is
I love VAR because VAR can't stand it.
Where's the foul? Oh, get out. This game, I've seen it. It's so look, I'll explain it to you because you're not watching the game.
Yeah.
So the player Utara gets it. Onana gets the ball. It bounces off Onana's leg and clips the bit of his arm and goes over and it goes in. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I get it, yeah, handball, but what's he meant to do? He's standing there and the ball's just ricocheted off his, off the goalie. Like, oh.
He's in trouble anyway. He's in trouble anyway. He's in trouble anyway now. You think they're going to give him any more money? You think they're going to give him any more money now? Yeah, Ten Hag. Yeah. The only problem they've got now, right? And this is going to put Tottenham in trouble, by the way, right? Because you heard some news earlier in the week, Perchy, about what is it? Swansea trying to get one of our assistants. Do you hear that?
Yeah. No,
Did you hear that?
Angie's assistant to go to Swansea, I heard.
Yeah, exactly. So there's already start rumblings about people trying to get our coaches now. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Man United are looking at it right now, Sir, what is it? Whatever his name that's coming in, right?
What,
Sorry,
for
I
Man
apologise.
United?
Yeah, he's coming in. Yeah, he's looking
Ratcliffe,
and
yeah.
thinking they're sitting there thinking, I can't trust this guy, bruv.
They
I can't
can't
trust
do.
this guy. You know what I mean? And he's looking at Postecoglou right now
Um,
and thinking, I want a bit of that.
I'm just yeah, you're right. I'm just sorry, Alex. I don't mean to. Apologies for interrupting.
No, let's go and
It
go for it. Go
finishes
for it, man.
full time. Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0. That's a great result for Sheffield United, bottom of the league, which puts them now. If it stays like that, it's finished now. I mean, Sheffield United are on 8 points. Burnley on 8 points at the moment because they're drawing with Brighton. That's finished 1-1. Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. And the last game left here is at Old Trafford. Late drama at the Valley. Charlton 2, Cambridge 2. Two
Wow.
late goals from Cambridge after Charlton were cruising at 2-0.
That's how it works, doesn't it?
No, Phil. I don't think they're talking. I don't think Alex was saying about him going to Man United. I think what we're trying to say is that Man United will be looking now for a manager. They've got to be, surely. Like, they can't stick with this guy.
It's not the case. Listen, this is not me having to go up Ten Hag. I think he needs time, yeah, but at the same time, this is Man United. You know what I mean?
Man United play Bayern Munich midweek, by the way.
Man United don't get thrashed by Bournemouth. You don't.
Yeah, you're right.
It just is nothing against
I agree.
Bournemouth. Nothing against Bournemouth, but the fact that it was nearly 4-0.
And it is full time at Old Trafford. Man United 0, Bournemouth 3, full time.
Are you hearing the crowd? Are you hearing the crowd?
I'm listening to it now.
How bad is the crowd?
I'll tell you now. 1 second. I may not be able to hear you, but they're still playing on my screen. But I've just been buzzing. Oh, yeah. Loud boos at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Half the stadium has already gone, understandably.
Bro,
but they have not happy Old Trafford. Massive boos.
This guy is not after getting knocked out the Champions League, right? Okay. You thinking of putting money into January with this guy?
Can you? You can't.
You can't, can you? You can't accept a 3-0 defeat by Bournemouth. You just can't accept it.
Alex, look, I absolutely agree. Guys, I'm gonna wrap it up shortly now because games are over. We'll put it like that for a second. I just want to say, look, guys, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this. Alex, as always, thank you very much for always getting involved. You're only going to be a little bit, and then you stayed the whole way.
No. I've changed my arrangements, so I don't mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say,
changed my arrangements.
Guys, please stay here because I'm going to send you all over to Time Added On with Alan because he's doing Aston Villa Arsenal watch along. So please go over there and just say Perchy sent me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel here. Subscribe to Alex. Make sure if you haven't, go and subscribe to Alan. Go and subscribe to all the guys in the community. Let's help each other all out, guys. And I just want to say thank you very much. I really enjoyed that. It's been really fun. And don't go anywhere. And as I said, go over there and share the love over to Alan at Time Added On. Alex, final words from you, my friend?
Like I say, I think unfortunately it might be time out for Ten Hag.
Ten Hag in for me.
Yeah.
Look, Alex, as always, mate. Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed that. That's been really fun. Guys, see you in a bit. Peace out.